na ramoro chumena mataka ko ni rawone ni biba marataka ke misa ropo ni ana di sambulu bidang na sero gori sana churi kilo na moro chumai tuna sele ni sambula oyo Mr. Ben kelapa na magikira ni biba mataka moni chikira borombu kama na ono kene diwa ena bula FM
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. In tonight's bulletin, a government small and micro business grant to continue indefinitely. More informal settlers to be given leases in the coming months. And the prolonged dry spell could give rise to illness and skin diseases. $216 small business owners have received a $1,000 grant as part of the government's ongoing initiative. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama was in Lautoka handing out the grants and promised that the project will continue indefinitely.
With this round of grants, just over 3,000 Fijians have been helped with their small and micro business, and positive feedback is already coming in.
We're starting to get some wonderful success stories coming through the system about what these grants recipients have been able to achieve. These are real people like you in just one area of the country whose lives are being transformed by this program, this $1,000 grant.
It is estimated that the trickle-down effect of the grants has helped over 30,000 people in one way or another. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says this is one way of ensuring that economic stability for all Fijians. Bainimarama also pointed out that the grant can be used frivolously.
You cannot go and buy a refrigerator, you cannot go and buy a TV with this money, nor can you buy grog or alcohol.
Meanwhile, hundreds flocked the Lautoka market to witness Prime Minister Bainimarama open the $1.5 million extension. The new facilities provide a cleaner, safer environment for vendors and buyers alike.
We are improving conditions for about 300 vendors by giving them and those who buy their produce a roof over their heads for the first time. A clean, modern facility that protects them from the elements.
The opening of the new market and the launch of the micro-business grants in Lautoka underlines the government's objective to empower ordinary Fijians and give them what they need to gain a bigger economic stake in our nation's future. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The government has started the process of securing the homes for tens of thousands of Fijians living in informal settlements. The first of these was the handover of leases to 40 families in Field 40, Lautoka. Akusita Tale reports other sites may take longer because the government wants to do everything by the book.
A promise made before the 2014 elections, developing more state land for squatter resettlement. Moving forward, all state land on which squatters have been living will be subdivided and residents will be given 99-year leases.
Keeping that promise has been very important to me because I know how important security is to every Fijian, and especially the need to feel secure on the land on which you live. All along, we have been determined to give our squatters that security, to empower you and give you the peace of mind other Fijians enjoy.
Government has achieved this by handing over approval notices to 40 families in Field 40 yesterday. This means these families cannot be evicted for the next 99 years. For now, all related agencies have to come up with a system for how the leases will be facilitated and ensure everything is legal.
There are still a number of outstanding issues to be addressed for the whole of Fiji in the weeks and months ahead. And key stakeholders in the housing sector will be meeting to consider those issues and finalize our policies on the allocation of lots in squatter settlements around the country.
This is the first of more than 50 other settlements where the government has committed to regularizing occupancy. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
People are being advised to take extra care of their health and personal hygiene in light of the hot weather conditions. Some medical practitioners report an increase in patients presenting illnesses caused by heat and prolonged exposure to the sun. Shireen Lata speaks with Dr. Mahendra Hazratwala.
While many of us enjoy the warm, sunny conditions, there are some who are vulnerable to the effects of heat or ultraviolet radiation.
Skin problems, very common in summer because of the heat and moisture. In the axilla, in the groin, in the ladies below the breast and all that thing, there are folds. And there is a lot of sweat as well as the heat. And that heat and sweat produces a lot of skin conditions.
In recent weeks, Dr. Mahendra Hazratwala says there have been patients visiting his clinic due to dehydration, skin infections and asthma attacks. He adds prolonged exposure to very high temperatures can mean the body is unable to reduce its own temperature, causing dehydration and heat stroke, which can be fatal.
If somebody is having this thing, they have to drink a lot of water because hydration is very important. Because each and every cell of the body requires fluid.
The general practitioner is advising everyone to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water each day, even if you are not thirsty. The dry, warm condition is expected to continue until March next year. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation is hosting Diwali Dhamaka at Syria Park in Nosori. FBC's 2 Hindi radio stations, Radio Fiji 2 and Mirchi FM, has organized a fun-filled program. Now we join Shireen Lata live from Nosori. Shireen, what's the atmosphere like at Syria Park?
Thanks, Amrita. People have already started gathering here at Syria Park in Nosori, where tonight they will be able to see traditional items and performance as part of the Diwali Dhamaka show. The program proper will begin at 7 p.m. but as of now all the preparations have been done and the local artists and the announcers are ready to entertain the public. We have here with us the presenter of Mirchi FM, Arunesh Kumar, who will brief us about tonight's program.
Thank you very much, Shireen. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a very, very happening night tonight with Mirchi FM and Radio Fiji 2's Diwali Dhamaka. And for the first time, we have got a Ram Leela, which is an enactment of Ramayan, which will be brought to you on the stage by Radio Fiji 2 and Mirchi FM. But that will be Sanatan Ramayan Mandali all the way from Satsang Ramayan Mandali all the way from Lami. And food rides are here. Your favorite personalities will be here from Radio Fiji 2 and Mirchi FM. So it's going to be a Diwali Dhamaka. All you got to do is bring yourself down here at Syria Park and enjoy the evening and have a happy and grand Diwali.
Thanks, Arunesh. As you have heard, this is an opportunity not to be missed. So if you are around in Nosori or nearby areas, do come and be part of the Diwali Dhamaka night. Back to you, Amrita.
Coming up, a new resort opens in Nadi.
मेरा चांद मुझे आया है नजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। छाया है नशा मेरे आंखों पर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। रह जाए ना प्यासा मेरा प्यार, मेरे बाहों में भर दे मेरा यार, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर, ऐ रात जरा थम थम के गुजर। है दोस्तों, मैं हूं जितेन शांडिल। आप रात के बाद हमारे साथ अब रफ्तार प्रोग्राम में 3 से लेकर रात 7 के बीच शामिल हो सकते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back. You're with FBC News. A new resort has been opened in Sunai Sali, Nadi, owned by Fijian businessman Bobby Khan. Resort Relax Fiji is said to be another vote of confidence in the tourism industry. Akusita Tale reports.
Over a year of late nights and early mornings have paid off for Nadi businessman Bobby Khan. Resort Relax Fiji now open to locals and tourists alike. It boasts 17 duplex villas plus 2 additional presidential suites, conference facilities and other amenities for adults and children. 60 locals have also found a job here.
With such developments, jobs are created and the earnings of the employees filter back into to the communities and strengthen the general economic base for every Fijian. Ladies and gentlemen, Resort Relax Fiji hasn't just been designed to attract overseas visitors, important as they are to our economy. It also wants to attract as many Fijians as possible to come and stay or enjoy the facilities.
It's not the first for Khan. He has 2 supermarkets and also owns Nadi's event center in Votualevu. While he plans to open retail stores and commercial offices at the Airport Plaza complex, another project called Just Get It Dreams is expected to be opened soon.
On the right-hand side, as you rented, we are putting up about 86 residential lots, which consist of about 1,000 square meter each. And very shortly we'll start constructing homes, quality villas, which will be up for sale.
The development has laid a challenge to Fijians overseas to return home to invest. Khan and his wife came back after 22 years in New Zealand, where they settled after the 1987 coup. Bollywood actor and comedian Johnny Lever was also a guest at the resort opening. Ako si Tatale, FBC News.
Journalism students at the University of the South Pacific were recognized for their academic excellence over the year. Awards were presented to the students by various media personalities, including the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation Best Sports Reporter Award, which was presented by FBC's newly appointed Director of News, Indra Singh. 13 students received awards for Best Radio Student, Best Sub-Editor, Best Editor Award and Best News Story awarded amongst others.
But now there's a huge challenge for you, young graduates, going out into the marketplace. You don't even know whether you're going to be called a journalist or a content provider or a curator of news or a news aggregator docket or whatever.
USP has produced close to 200 graduates working in various media roles throughout the Pacific and beyond. Suva businessman Ben Padarat and lawyer Aseri Vakaloloma appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court charged with forgery. It's alleged that in December 2009, the 2 men with the intent to defraud forged a document, namely the Articles of Association, to BECP Engineering Construction Fiji Limited. They allegedly made a false page of the Articles of Association by altering the particulars of a subscriber from Adishwar Padarat of Duncan Road in Domain Suva to Varange Bainimarama of Suva. Padarat told the court he has engaged a lawyer to represent him, while Vakaloloma already has representation. The Chief Magistrate told Padarat to bring his lawyer to court in the next sitting and that a later hearing date will be decided. Now the case will be recalled on the 6th of November. The Fiji Taxi Association wants the import of Euro 4 cars to continue. This is amongst other requests the association submitted to the Ministry of Finance for the 2016 budget. Ritika Pratap reports.
Fiji Taxi Association General Secretary Rishi Ram says Euro 4 cars is environmental friendly and beneficial for the taxi industry as a whole.
It doesn't make any harm to anybody, neither the passenger, nor driver, nor the environment. So we request those cars to be brought in Fiji. Because previously the diesel cars were brought to Fiji. We know it's no more in the market. So we request the government to continue with their bringing our shows with the Euro 4 cars.
The government has given duty-free concession on liquefied petroleum gas or LPG propelled vehicles for the past 9 years. And in the last budget, hybrid cars were also granted the same.
The boot compartments are quite small, and when we drive any tourists to the airports, we have problems because their big luggage couldn't fit here. So in view of this, we in our budget we requested the Honourable Minister to give us duty concession on station wagon cars so that any mode of car could be used for taxis.
The Taxi Association has also requested in its submission to remove the 5% service turnover tax.
And under government's requirement, we must pay government 5% from every dollar you collect. Now, we are already operating on a fixed rate in the higher cars. We don't have meters in higher cars. So when we tell the passengers to pay 5% more, they opt to use other mode of transport.
Taxi operators are happy with the progress made by the industry, as there are 60% new taxis and hire cars on the road since the taxi fare increase came into effect 4 years ago. Rishiram says they are hopeful the government will continue with its assistance. The 2016 national budget will be announced next Friday. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Breast cancer is now the #1 killer cancer in Fiji, overtaking cervical cancer. Dr. Bashrat Munshi, a consultant general surgeon at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital, pointed this out at the French ambassador's residence during the Pinktober morning tea. He says the mortality rate for breast cancer in Fiji is high because, unfortunately, the women don't seek medical advice early enough. Dr. Bashrat says they have diagnosed roughly 230 cases of breast cancer in Fiji in 2014.
Now, if you were to do a little bit of math and work out an incidence rate, this would be something like 70 per 100,000 female population. That's a significant number. It becomes significant when you compare it with, say, USA or Australia for that matter.
Meanwhile, the French ambassador to Fiji, Michael Djokovic, stresses cancer is a very sensitive topic that needs a worldwide awareness at all levels. The Fiji Museum now has a permanent public space for the exhibition of visual art with an aim to showcase and inspire future artists. Art can be a creativity that expresses culture and tradition with the landscape of today. Some of Fiji's most talented artists have put their work on display at the museum's newest edition, the Art Gallery. Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Education and Heritage, Kelera Talonga, launched the Tu Vata exhibition last night, which literally translated means standing together.
Since April this year, the Fiji Museum has been hosting a number of free to public open days. The free access to school children in Fiji was done in the hope that the gallery will give children the opportunity to view the works of art and expressions of creativity that could inspire the children and stimulate their creativity and lateral thinking.
As part of the exhibition launch, a People's Choice competition was announced with $3,000 to be awarded to the most popular art. Coming up in sports, women's football heats up. And South Africa finished third at the Rugby World Cup. This and more after the break.
Imbula bina na turanga na marama na turbugi na ngone lewa. Imbula bina ngone. Kanuita kini marata itiron da bibingomi na bioliba ni Radio Fiji 1 na bay biti na bunga ni biyanu yanu. Oya upio rotuanga na mninda ni bengravi. Na makia mo ina ono kita tiri karua moni tiki na barumbuka. Ene wasini ngono baruta ki kilo mani koro ilutu na karumbu.
South Africa defeated Argentina 24-13 to finish third at the Rugby World Cup this morning. This was their captain Victor Matfield's last match for the national team, and here are the match highlights.
But it's not there. Pienaar throws it wide. Opportunities out to the right. JP Peterson straight down, finish there from You've got a check behind. Just got to see his feet. That's the call. Yeah, he does fantastic. That's going to be a try from Peterson. Wonderful work. Just stands up Amorosinho. Pollard, they've overloaded that short side. Creel and sending the ball up for Elizabeth. The try is demanding a try. And they go on. Yes, they have.
Yeah, I'm just so relieved we won the game. So we'll probably go into the change room, have a beer with Skalkberger, Farida Priya, and a lot of the guys that I've spent so much time of my life with. So it's been a fantastic career, but just happy we won the game tonight.
The final of the World Cup between Australia and New Zealand is building up to be the best ever. It's also the first time the two teams will meet in a Rugby World Cup final. Rohit there with more stats.
Both New Zealand and Australia are two-time World Cup champions, but neither has won the William Webb Ellis Trophy 3 times. In this year's tournament so far, Australia has scored 205 points and conceded 84, while New Zealand has scored 256 and conceded 80. The two teams' defensive record has been impeccable, with Australia conceding only 5 tries and the All Blacks conceding just 4. New Zealand have effectively made 86% of their tackles, while Australia follow close behind with 81%. Some records will also be on the line, with All Blacks captain Richie Mako to extend his stint for the most test caps to 148, and teammates Ma'a Nonu and Conrad Smith will play their 62nd test as a centre partnership. Teammate Dan Carter will seek to add to his record points in Test rugby, which currently stands at 1,579. Australian winger Drew Mitchell, who has scored 14 tries in World Cup history, is one short of the record held by Chona Lomu and Brian Habana. The two sides have met each other 154 times, with the All Blacks winning 105, the Wallabies with 42 wins, while 7 matches have ended in a draw. Tomorrow morning's clash is building up to be the most important in the history of the Trans-Tasman rivals. The match kicks off at 5 AM and you can watch it live on FBC TV. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Samoa Sevens rugby side has won the Overlaw Sevens, which finished in Levuka today. Samoa thrashed Nduavata Young Boys 43-5 in the final. The Samoans outscored their opponents 7 tries to 1. St. John's won the plate final. And Samoa walked away with $3,000 for the win, while Nduavata Young Boys settled for $1,500. The second last round of the Fiji Football Association Women's Competition was held today. 9 rounds of matches have been played and improvements have been seen from when the competition started. Rohit Deo has more.
The Southern Division Women's Football Competition continued today at the Fiji Football Headquarters grounds in Suva. Progress made by the girls in the past 2 months has impressed many.
Very big improvement, because we are playing our league every Saturday. So we have time for these girls to play oftenly. So now the football competition for them has really, from the last time we started our league.
It isn't the end of the road for the players after this tournament, as more competitions are being lined up.
Right after our league here, we are having our top 4 playoff. So we have from a southern, we have 2 teams qualified for the top 4, and 1 from the west and 1 from the north.
Rewa has qualified for the top 4 challenge from the Southern Division, with Ba making it from the west and Lambasa being the north qualifier. The second qualifier from the Southern Division will be known after the last round of matches next week. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Football referees are attending a 5-day workshop at the Fiji FA headquarters in Watuanga. This is an initiative by FIFA to give a refresher course on the rules of the game. The response from the match officials has been positive, with calls for new referees to join the association.
We have selected a panel of referees who have officiated in the recent matches. But what I would like to do at this stage is to appeal to the nation that we need many more referees. Why? Because the number of tournaments have increased. There are many more games being played, not only here in Fiji but overseas as well.
The training course comes to an end tomorrow. A stirring second-half comeback earned Newcastle Jets football team a remarkable come-from-behind 3-2 win over Melbourne City FC in the Hyundai A-League last night. Here are the goals.
Carney left it behind for Garuccio. Putting his head up. Real options.
Oh, he came back. He didn't need to.
Moy. Deflection! Aaron Moy gives Melbourne City the lead. Got plenty of space. Now the combination. What a goal this would be! And it's in! Another deflection. It's overhit for Trifunovic. Back in by Poljak. Kandarovski! And there's the reward for the Jets' brilliant start to this second half. It's back to 2-1.
Newcastle back on their attack. Terrific switch of play from Lee Kiji.
To another left footer in Carney. Here's Hoffman again. Decker, they want handball. And penalty given. He had a chat to his assistant. Trifunovic. Oh, there's some confidence from the striker. Andy Carney, who scored the winner last week late against the Victory, hangs it up. All Jets, and they're in front. Can you believe it? Trifunovic. He's got 2 in a matter of minutes.
Generally fine weather conditions apart from brief showers prevailed over the country today. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and showers affects the southern islands of Western Kiribati, Tuvalu, Tokelau and extends southeastwards over the northern Cooks. Meanwhile, a broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over most of the southwest Pacific Island countries. Quick look at the temperatures. It was a warm Saturday around Fiji with most centers hitting the low 30s. Suva and Savu were 28 degrees this afternoon. Now tomorrow fine conditions will prevail with a slight chance of cloud in the capital. As for Monday, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. Now recapping the main stories tonight. The government will continue to give out $1,000 small business grants indefinitely. More state land will be converted into lease properties for squatters. And new resort opens in Nadi, providing 60 jobs. On to our poll question. This week we ask, are you happy with the 7 hours given to use fireworks on Diwali Day? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Now you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. Now before we go tonight, a reminder that daylight savings begins tomorrow. The time will move forward by an hour at 2 a.m. and people are to wind the time 1 hour ahead before going to bed tonight. The extra hour of daylight will run until Sunday, 17th January 2016. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good evening.